Welcome to today's Lost Souls, where we bring you the most impactful and unforgettable stories from around the world. Today, we remember the lives of remarkable individuals whose legacies continue to inspire and resonate. From iconic musicians to trailblazing activists, join us as we celebrate their extraordinary contributions and bid farewell to those who have left an indelible mark on our lives. Stay tuned for a journey through their incredible stories.
Alon Aboutboul passed away at the age of 60. Alon Aboutboul was a highly respected Israeli actor and director whose career spanned more than 4 decades, showcasing his deep acting range both in Israeli cinema and international productions. Born on May 28, 1965, in Kiryat Atta, Israel, Aboutboul came from a Sephardic Jewish family with roots in Egypt and Algeria. He graduated from the prestigious Thelma Yellin High School of Arts in Givatayim, Israel, which launched him into the world of acting at an early age. Aboutboul's early breakthrough came with his starring role in the Israeli film Two Fingers from Sidon, 1986, an impactful war drama that earned him the Best Actor award at the Jerusalem Film Festival. He won the same prize again in 1989 for One of Us, Ehad Mishalanu. Throughout the 1990s, he continued to build his career mainly in Israeli cinema, but began branching out internationally in the 2000s. His international profile grew with appearances in several acclaimed Hollywood productions. Notably, he appeared in Rambo 3, 1988, and later in Steven Spielberg's Munich, 2005. In 2008, Aboutboul gained wider recognition for his role as Al Salim in Ridley Scott's espionage thriller Body of Lies, alongside Leonardo DiCaprio and Russell Crowe. He also portrayed Dr. Leonid Pavel, a Russian scientist, in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight Rises, 2012, one of his most widely seen roles globally. In 2016, he played the antagonist Amir Barkawi in the action film London Has Fallen. Aside from films, Aboutboul was a prominent figure in television, especially popular in the United States through roles in shows such as NCIS, Fringe, The Mentalist, Castle, Homeland, and Burn Notice. More recently, he played a recurring role as Avi Drexler in the FX series Snowfall, 2017 to 2022, and lent his voice to animated works like Tales of Arcadia's Three Below series. Alon Aboutboul was acclaimed for his deep, resonant voice and commanding screen presence, which brought intensity and authenticity to his many complex characters. His contributions to Israeli cinema and theater were equally significant, and he performed frequently at major Israeli venues like the Habama Theater in Tel Aviv. His legacy includes numerous awards such as the Ophir Award for Best Supporting Actor in 2003 and recognition at the International Film Festival of India. Politically engaged as well, Aboutboul ran for the Israeli Knesset with the Labour Party in 2006, demonstrating his commitment beyond acting to societal causes. Tragically, Alon Aboutboul passed away suddenly on July 29, 2025. He was found unresponsive at Habanim Beach near Tel Aviv, Israel, after reportedly fainting post-swim. Despite efforts by emergency responders, he could not be revived. His death deeply saddened the Israeli film community and fans worldwide, with Israel's Minister of Culture and Sports, Miki Zohar, publicly mourning the loss of a cultural icon, whose passion for his craft shone brightly until the end. He is survived by his wife Shir Bilia and their 4 children. Aboutboul's enduring impact rests in his vast body of work, over 100 film and TV projects, his bridge between Israeli and international cinema, and his role in elevating the profile of Israeli acting worldwide. His work remains a testament to his talent, dedication, and the rich cultural heritage he proudly represented. Gailard Sartain passed away at the age of 81. Gailard Lee Sartain Jr. was a beloved American actor known for his distinctive characters, rooted in Southern culture. He was best known for his long-running role on the country music variety show Hee Haw and for appearances in notable films like Mississippi Burning, The Buddy Holly Story, and several Ernest movies. Sartain died of natural causes on June 19, 2025, at his home in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where he was born and raised. Born on September 18, 1943, in Tulsa, Sartain was the son of Elizabeth Bell Sartain and Gailard Lee Sartain Sr., a former fire chief of the city. He attended Will Rogers High School, where his early flair for humor and performing started to develop. He earned a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree from the University of Tulsa and later moved to New York City to work in the arts before transitioning fully to acting. Sartain's entertainment career began locally as a cameraman at a Tulsa TV station. He gained early fame in the 1970s with the Uncanny Film Festival and Camp Meeting, a late-night show where he played a wizard-like movie host named Dr. Mazeppa Pompazoidi, which showcased his whimsical and inventive comedy style. This role helped him break into national recognition, leading to his casting on Hee Haw in 1972, where he remained for 20 years. On Hee Haw, he portrayed a variety of memorable and quirky characters, such as Orville the cook and Maynard the bumbling general store clerk, becoming a fan favorite in the country variety show's ensemble cast. His film career included collaborations with director Alan Rudolph, who cast Sartain in 9 of his movies over 2 decades, including Roadie, 1980, Endangered Species, 1982, and Love at Large, 1990. Moreover, he had important supporting roles in high-profile films such as Mississippi Burning, 1988, where he played a racially charged sheriff, and The Buddy Holly Story, 1978, portraying the Big Bopper. He also appeared in The Outsiders, 1983, and Fried Green Tomatoes, 1991. In the Ernest film series, Sartain frequently appeared in comic supporting parts, endearing himself to family audiences. Sartain was admired not only for his comedic talent, but also for his ability to perform serious roles. He successfully avoided being pigeonholed solely as a comedian, expanding his range across genres and character types. His wife of 36 years, Mary Jo Sartain, affectionately described his passing as death by silliness, reflecting his lifelong joyful spirit and humor. He is survived by Mary Jo, their 3 children, Sarah, Esther, and Ben, and grandchildren. Gailard Sartain remains remembered as a versatile, warm, and beloved figure in American television and film, whose career spanned decades and left a lasting impact on comedy, drama, and Southern cultural representation. Evan Ellingson passed away. At the age of 35, Evan Ellingson was an American actor best known for his roles in the television series CSI, Miami, and the film My Sister's Keeper. Born on July 1, 1988, Ellingson began his career as a child actor, discovered at a skate park at age 10, which led to early roles including guest appearances on Mad TV and a series regular role on the Fox sitcom Titus. He later gained recognition for playing Kyle Harmon, the son of David Caruso's character in CSI, Miami from 2007 to 2010. Ellingson's most notable film role was as Jesse Fitzgerald, the son of Cameron Diaz's character, in the 2009 drama My Sister's Keeper, where he starred alongside Abigail Breslin. Over his career, he appeared in diverse projects such as Letters from Iwo Jima, Complete Savages, 24, and others, showcasing a range from comedy to drama. Tragically, Evan Ellingson was found dead on November 5, 2023, in his home in Fontana, California. The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department later confirmed his death was due to an accidental fentanyl overdose. According to reports and statements from his family, Ellingson had struggled with substance abuse for several years, beginning after the death of his older brother from a heroin overdose. He had entered treatment programs and was residing at a sober living home at the time of his passing. Friends and colleagues described Ellingson as a kind, caring individual with a bright spirit and a passion for helping others battling addiction. He had been open about his struggles and had dedicated time to ministry and supporting others in recovery. His girlfriend and family highlighted his recent relapse was related to painkillers prescribed following dental work, emphasizing the tragic nature of his passing. Despite retreating from acting in recent years, Ellingson left a lasting impression with his performances and his openness about his personal challenges. He is survived by his daughter and family members who remember him for his loving nature and resilience. Richard Moll passed away at the age of 80 on October 26, 2023. Charles Richard Moll was a distinguished American actor best known for his role as Aristotle Nostradamus Bull Shannon, the gentle but imposing bailiff on the popular NBC sitcom Night Court, which aired from 1984 to 1992. Moll's towering presence at 6 feet 8 inches tall, combined with his distinctive deep voice and affable demeanor, made Bull Shannon a beloved character who brought warmth, humor, and a touch of innocence to the courtroom comedy. Born on January 13, 1943, in Pasadena, California, Moll was the son of Violet Anita, a nurse, and Harry Finley Moll, a lawyer. As a child, he grew quite tall, reaching 6 feet by age 12 and eventually towering above 6 feet 8 inches. He attended the University of California, Berkeley, where he studied history and psychology and performed in Shakespearean productions. His early years in Hollywood saw him taking on character roles that leveraged his imposing stature, such as roles in films like Caveman, 1981, where he played the abominable snowman, and Metal Storm, The Destruction of Jared Sin, 1983, where he famously shaved his head for his role, an act that helped him get cast as Bull Shannon. Moll's breakthrough came with Night Court, where Bull Shannon started as a somewhat menacing bailiff but quickly evolved into a gentle giant with a soft heart. Moll credited this transformation to the producers who saw potential for a more nuanced, kind character beneath his intimidating exterior. His portrayal endeared him to audiences throughout the show's run, securing his place as a television icon of the 1980s. In addition to his live-action roles, Richard Moll was a prolific voice actor, most notably voicing Harvey Dent/Two-Face in Batman, the animated series, and the new Batman Adventures, lending his deep, menacing voice to one of Batman's most complex villains. He reprised the Two-Face character in Batman, the Brave and the Bold as well, and voiced other animated villains, including Scorpion in Spider-Man, the animated series. Beyond television, Moll appeared in films such as The Flintstones, 1994, where he played Hoagie, and Jingle All the Way, 1996, as the Dementor, showcasing his versatility in both comedy and villainous roles. He also participated in numerous television guest roles and smaller film parts, often cast for his distinctive look and voice. Moll's career spanned from 1965 to 2018, encompassing over 5 decades of work in film, television, and voice acting. Off-screen, he was known for his humility and professionalism. He was married twice, first to Laura Klass and then to Susan Brown, and had 2 children. Richard Moll's legacy lies not only in his iconic role as Bull Shannon, but also in his contributions to animation and character acting, where his unforgettable voice brought life to memorable villains. His ability to blend his intimidating physicality with a warm, gentle personality on screen made him a unique and cherished figure in entertainment history. Richard Roundtree passed away at the age of 81. Richard Roundtree was a pioneering American actor best known for his groundbreaking role as Private Detective John Shaft in the 1971 film Shaft and its sequels, which established him as the first black action hero in mainstream cinema. Born on July 9, 1942, in New Rochelle, New York, Roundtree began his acting career in the early 1960s. His portrayal of John Shaft in Shaft, 1971, was revolutionary, portraying a bold, confident black lead character in a genre that came to be known as blaxploitation films. This role not only made Roundtree a star at age 29, but also changed the landscape for African-American actors in Hollywood by challenging previous stereotypes and presenting black masculinity with swagger and authority. Roundtree reprised the Shaft character in the sequels Shaft's Big Score, 1972, and Shaft in Africa, 1973. The 1973 Shaft TV series, and later returned to the franchise in the 2000 film Shaft and the 2019 sequel, connecting generations of fans to the iconic character. His career spanned 5 decades with over 150 film and television credits. Noteworthy works include his role in the acclaimed 1977 miniseries Roots as Slave Sam Bennett, appearances in films such as Shone, 1981, City Heat, 1984, Say 7 Un, George of the Jungle, and television series like Generations, Alias, Desperate Housewives, Being Mary Jane, and Family Reunion. His last film appearance was in the 2022 comedy Moving On. Roundtree was also a breast cancer survivor, having undergone a double mastectomy and chemotherapy after his 1993 diagnosis. In 2023, he succumbed to pancreatic cancer at his home in Los Angeles on October 24th, with his family by his side. He was cremated at Chapel of the Pines Crematory, and a memorial was held in early 2024. Throughout his life, Richard Roundtree was celebrated not only for his iconic roles, but also for his trailblazing impact on Black representation in film and television. His legacy continues to influence actors and filmmakers worldwide as a symbol of strength, charisma, and cultural significance in entertainment history. Mark Margolis. Mark Margolis, November 26, 1939 to August 3, 2023, was a highly respected American actor whose prolific six-decade career spanned film, television, and theater, earning him critical acclaim and a devoted following. He is best known for his iconic portrayal of Hector Salamanca, the ruthless drug lord in the acclaimed TV series Breaking Bad, 2009 to 2011, and its prequel Better Call Saul, 2016 to 2022. His performance as Hector, a character reduced to communicating by ringing a bell after a debilitating stroke, is widely regarded as a masterclass in minimalist and deeply expressive acting, earning him a Primetime Emmy nomination in 2012 for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Drama Series. Born and raised in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Margolis developed a passion for acting early, studying under legendary teachers such as Stella Adler, Lee Strasberg, and Barbara Loden. Initially honing his craft in theater, including over 50 off-Broadway productions, and founding the Blue Dome Touring Theater Company, Margolis built a strong foundation that would serve his later screen work. Margolis's film career was notable for his collaborations with acclaimed director Darren Aronofsky, appearing in 6 of Aronofsky's films including Pi, 1998, Requiem for a Dream, 2000, The Fountain, 2006, The Wrestler, 2008, Black Swan, 2010, and Noah, 2014. These roles showcased his versatility, often embodying intense, enigmatic characters. He also had memorable roles in films outside Aronofsky's oeuvre, such as Alberto the Shadow in Brian De Palma's Scarface, 1983, a cannabis dealer, in Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, 1994, and parts in The Thomas Crown Affair, Gone Baby Gone, and Immortals, 2011. On television, aside from his definitive role as Hector Salamanca, Margolis had significant work, including recurring roles in series like HBO's Oz, The Equalizer, Law and Order, Californication, and American Horror Story. His work on Better Call Saul expanded his character, allowing Margolis to demonstrate Hector's formidable criminal mind and presence before his incapacitation in Breaking Bad, thereby enriching the character's legacy. Mark Margolis was renowned for his ability to convey menace, complexity, and vulnerability through subtle performance choices. His work on Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul transformed what could have been a peripheral character into one of television's most chilling and memorable villains, proving his extraordinary skill in embodying psychologically layered figures. Even with limited dialogue, he passed away on August 3, 2023, at the age of 83 after a short illness. Margolis died in New York City with his wife Jacqueline and son Morgan Margolis by his side. He is remembered as a consummate professional whose deep dedication to his craft left a lasting impact across mediums and genres. His legacy lives on in iconic roles that blend emotional depth with intensity, influencing a generation of character actors and fans worldwide, and standing as a testament to the power of nuanced, character-driven storytelling. Angelina Jolie. Angelina Jolie Voight was born on June 4, 1975 in Los Angeles, California, into a world of Hollywood glamour and underlying turbulence that would shape her complex personality and future career. Born to Academy Award-winning actor Jon Voight and actress Marceline Bertrand, Angelina's childhood was marked by both privilege and profound emotional challenges that would later influence her humanitarian work and personal relationships. Her early years were spent in the shadow of her father's fame, but also under the protective wing of her devoted mother, Marceline. When Angelina was just 1 year old, her parents' tumultuous marriage began to crumble, leading to their separation when she was 2 and their eventual divorce in 1978. This early experience of family dissolution would become a recurring theme in her life, creating both vulnerability and strength that characterized her approach to relationships and motherhood. Growing up primarily with her mother and younger brother James Haven in New York, Angelina experienced a childhood far removed from the typical Hollywood upbringing one might expect. Marceline, determined to shield her children from the potentially corrupting influence of the entertainment industry, worked various jobs to support the family independently. This decision meant that Angelina's early years were marked by financial struggles, a stark contrast to the wealth associated with her father's successful career. The absence of her father created a void that Angelina felt deeply throughout her childhood. Jon Voight's sporadic presence in her life, combined with what she later described as his emotional unavailability, fostered feelings of abandonment and rejection that would influence her relationships well into adulthood. This paternal void contributed to her rebellious nature and her constant search for meaning and connection. Despite these challenges, Angelina displayed remarkable intelligence and creativity from an early age. She was drawn to performance and storytelling, often creating elaborate fantasies and role-playing scenarios. Her mother recognized her daughter's artistic inclinations and enrolled her in acting classes at the Lee Strasberg Theater Institute when Angelina was 11 years old. This early exposure to method acting techniques would later contribute to the intensity and authenticity she brought to her film roles. During her teenage years, Angelina's relationship with her identity became increasingly complex. She struggled with feelings of not belonging anywhere completely, describing herself as feeling different from her peers. This sense of otherness was compounded by her striking appearance. Her full lips, piercing eyes, and tall, angular frame made her stand out in ways that she sometimes found uncomfortable during her adolescent years. The family's financial difficulties meant that Angelina attended various schools throughout her childhood, including Beverly Hills High School, where she felt particularly out of place among the wealthy students. Her sense of not fitting in was exacerbated by her gothic phase during her early teens when she dressed in black, experimented with self-harm, and developed what she later described as an obsession with death and darkness. This period reflected her internal struggles with depression and her search for ways to feel something meaningful in what seemed like an emotionally numb existence. Angelina Jolie's transformation from a troubled teenager to one of Hollywood's most recognizable and highest-paid actresses represents one of the most remarkable career trajectories in modern cinema. Her journey to stardom was neither immediate nor conventional, marked by bold choices, intense performances, and a willingness to take risks that many established actors would avoid. Her professional acting debut came in 1993 with the low-budget science fiction film Cyborg 2, where she played Casella Cash-Ree, a near-human robot designed for corporate espionage. While the film was largely forgettable and received minimal theatrical release, it provided Angelina with her first taste of leading role responsibility and the technical aspects of film. The experience, though not artistically fulfilling, gave her valuable insight into the film industry's commercial machinery. The real breakthrough in her career came with the 1998 HBO biographical film Gia, where she portrayed the tragic supermodel Gia Kurungi, who died of AIDS-related complications at the age of 26. This role demanded everything from Angelina: emotional vulnerability, physical transformation, and the courage to depict both the glamorous and devastating aspects of addiction and self-destruction. Her performance was nothing short of Rivoli, capturing both Gia's magnetic beauty and her tragic spiral into drug addiction with unflinching honesty. The preparation for Gia was intense and transformative. Angelina immersed herself completely in the role, studying hours of footage of the real Gia, meeting with people who knew her, and psychologically inhabiting the character's troubled mindset. The performance earned her a Golden Globe Award for Best Actress in a Television Film and established her as a serious actress capable of handling complex, challenging material. Critics praised her fearless approach to the role and her ability to convey both strength and vulnerability simultaneously. Following the success of Gia, Angelina's career gained significant momentum with Girl Interrupted in 1999, where she played Lisa Rowe, a charismatic sociopath in a mental institution. Starring alongside Winona Ryder, Angelina delivered a performance that was both magnetic and deeply disturbing. Her portrayal of Lisa was so convincing and multifaceted that it overshadowed the film's lead actress, earning her widespread critical acclaim and, most importantly, the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. The The Oscar win in 2000 catapulted Angelina into the Hollywood A-list, but it was her casting as Lara Croft in Lara Croft Tomb Raider 2001 that transformed her into a global icon. The role required extensive physical preparation, including weapons, training, martial arts, and stunt work that Angelina embraced with characteristic intensity. Her portrayal of the video game heroine was both physically demanding and commercially successful, grossing over $274 million worldwide and establishing her as a bankable action star. The success of Tomb Raider led to its sequel, Lara Croft Tomb Raider: The Cradle of Life, 2003, which further cemented her status as an action heroine. However, Angelina was careful not to be TYP cast, choosing diverse roles that showcased her range as an actress. Her performance in A Mighty Heart 2007, where she portrayed Marion Pearl, the widow of murdered journalist Daniel Pearl, demonstrated her commitment to serious, socially conscious film. Perhaps one of her most commercially successful and critically acclaimed performances came in Mr. and Mrs. Smith 2005, where she starred opposite Brad Pitt as married assassins who discover they've been hired to kill each other. The film was notable not only for its box office success, but also for the real-life romance that developed between the co-stars during filming, which would later become one of Hollywood's most scrutinized relationships. Angelina's versatility as an actress was further demonstrated in Salt 2010, an action thriller originally written for a male protagonist, but rewritten specifically for her. Her portrayal of Evelyn Salt, a CIA agent accused of being a Russian spy, showcased her ability to carry a major action film as the sole lead while performing many of her own stunts. Throughout this period of commercial success, Angelina never abandoned her commitment to more challenging artistic projects. Her work in Changeling 2008, directed by Clint Eastwood, earned her another Academy Award nomination for Best Actress. Her portrayal of Christine Collins, a mother searching for her kidnapped son in 1928 Los Angeles, was both emotionally devastating and technically masterful, proving that her early promise as a serious dramatic actress had been fully realized. Angelina Jolie's approach to health and medical decisions has been characterized by the same fearless, proactive stance that defined her acting career and humanitarian work. Her public journey with preventive health care became a watershed moment not only in her personal life, but also in global conversations about genetic testing, preventive medicine, and women's health advocacy. The most significant chapter in her health story began with the devastating loss of her mother, Marceline Bertrand, to ovarian cancer in 2007. This tragedy profoundly impacted Angelina's perspective on health and mortality, particularly given her close relationship with her mother. Marceline had been diagnosed with ovarian cancer in 1999 and fought the disease for 8 years before succumbing at the age of 56. The prolonged battle allowed Angelina to witness firsthand the devastating effects of hereditary cancer and the importance of early detection and prevention. Following her mother's death, Angelina made the decision to undergo genetic testing to determine her risk of developing hereditary cancers. The results revealed that she carried the BRCA1 gene mutation, which significantly increased her risk of developing breast cancer to 87% and ovarian cancer to 50%. This genetic predisposition meant that she had inherited the same vulnerability that had claimed her mother's life, a revelation that would fundamentally alter her approach to her own health and future. The decision to undergo preventive surgery was not made lightly. Angelina consulted with numerous medical experts, genetic counselors, and specialists to fully understand her options and the implications of each choice. She was acutely aware that her decision would not only affect her own life, but would also impact her 6 children and her partner at the time, Brad Pitt. The weight of potentially leaving her children motherless, as she had experienced with her own mother, was a driving factor in her ultimate decision. In 2013, Angelina made the courageous decision to undergo a preventive double mastectomy, a procedure that reduced her risk of breast cancer from 87% to under 5%. The surgery was performed at the Pink Lotus Breast Center in Beverly Hills, utilizing the most advanced reconstruction techniques available. Her decision to make this private medical choice public was deliberate and strategic, aimed at raising awareness about genetic testing and preventive options for women facing similar situations. Her announcement of the surgery published in the New York Times in an op-ed titled My Medical Choice, created what became known as the Angelina Jolie effect. Medical centers worldwide reported significant increases in inquiries about genetic testing and preventive surgeries. Following her revelation, her openness about the procedure helped destigmatize preventive mastectomies and encouraged countless women to seek genetic counseling and testing. The physical and emotional recovery from the mastectomy was challenging. Angelina has spoken about the adjustment period required not only for physical healing, but also for psychological adaptation to the changes in her body. The reconstruction process involved multiple surgeries over several months, during which she continued to work and maintain her public commitments while privately dealing with the recovery process. 2 years later, in 2015, Angelina faced another significant medical decision when doctors discovered early signs that could indicate the development of ovarian cancer. Rather than wait and monitor the situation, she chose to undergo a preventive spingoectomy, the surgical removal of her ovaries and fallopian tubes. This procedure eliminated her risk of ovarian cancer, but also induced immediate menopause, bringing its own set of physical and emotional challenges. The decision to remove her ovaries was particularly difficult because it definitively ended her ability to have biological children. At the time, she and Brad Pitt had been considering having another child, making this medical decision emotionally complex. The procedure also meant dealing with the immediate onset of menopausal symptoms, including hormonal changes that could affect her mood, energy levels, and overall well-being. Throughout both surgical experiences, Angelina emphasized the importance of having access to quality healthcare and genetic testing, acknowledging that her privileged position allowed her options that many women worldwide do not have. She used her platform to advocate for increased access to genetic testing and preventive care, particularly in developing countries where such resources are scarce. Her medical journey also included dealing with other health challenges that came with her demanding lifestyle. Years of intensive stunt work, physical roles, and the stress of balancing a high-profile career with motherhood and humanitarian work took their toll on her body. She has been open about experiencing periods of extreme weight loss during particularly stressful times, including during her divorce proceedings and custody battles. Angelina's approach to mental health has been equally proactive. Having struggled with depression and self-destructive behaviors in her youth, she has been an advocate for mental health awareness and treatment. She has spoken about the importance of therapy and counseling not only for herself, but also for her children as they navigate the unique challenges of growing up in the public eye and dealing with their parents' highly publicized separation. The tapestry of Angelina Jolie's life has been woven with profound losses that have shaped her worldview, her approach to relationships, and her understanding of mortality's fragility. These experiences of grief and loss have contributed significantly to her humanitarian consciousness and her fierce protectiveness of her own family, while also revealing the depth of her resilience in the face of devastating personal tragedies. The most pivotal loss in Angelina's life was undoubtedly the death of her mother, Marceline Bertong, in January 2007. Marceline's 8-year battle with ovarian cancer was not just a medical struggle, but an emotional odyssey that brought mother and daughter even closer together during the final years of her life. As Marceline's health deteriorated, Angelina became increasingly involved in her care, often putting her career on hold to spend time with her mother during treatments and hospital stays. Marceline's influence on Angelina extended far beyond the typical mother-daughter relationship. She was Angelina's moral compass, her introduction to humanitarian causes, and her primary source of emotional support throughout her turbulent youth and early career. Marceline had dedicated much of her later life to supporting cancer research and advocating for indigenous rights, values that she instilled deeply in her daughter. Her death at the age of 56 left an enormous void in Angelina's life, one that would fundamentally alter her priorities and life philosophy. The grief following her mother's death was overwhelming and transformative. Angelina has described feeling lost and questioning everything about her life's direction. The woman who had guided her through her darkest moments, celebrated her successes, and provided unconditional love was gone. This loss intensified Angelina's already strong protective instincts toward her own children and reinforced her determination to be as present and involved in their lives as possible. Another significant loss came with the deterioration and eventual complete breakdown of her relationship with her father, Jon Voight. While their relationship had always been complicated due to his absence during her childhood, the final rupture came in 2002 when Voight made public statements about Angelina's mental health during a television interview. His comments, which suggested she had serious mental problems, were made without her consent and during a particularly vulnerable time in her life. This betrayal by her father represented not just the loss of a relationship, but the death of any hope for reconciliation or understanding between them, for someone who had already struggled with abandonment issues stemming from his absence during her childhood. This public humiliation felt like a final rejection. The arrangement lasted several years and was particularly painful because it meant that her children would not have the opportunity to know their grandfather during their formative years. The loss of her marriage to Brad Pitt in 2016 represented another profound personal tragedy, though of a different nature. Their relationship, which began in 2005 and included both a romantic partnership and a shared commitment to humanitarian causes, had been one of the most scrutinized in Hollywood history. The dissolution of their marriage was not just the end of a romantic relationship, but the fracturing of a family unit that included 6 children, 3 of whom were adopted internationally. The divorce proceedings were particularly traumatic due to their public nature and the custody battles that ensued. Allegations and counter-allegations were made public through court filings and media reports, exposing intimate details of their family life to global scrutiny. For someone who had always been fiercely protective of her children's privacy, the public nature of the divorce represented a loss of control over their family's narrative and their children's ability to have a normal childhood. The impact of the divorce on her children was a source of constant anguish for Angelina. She watched as her family unit, which she had worked so hard to create and nurture, was torn apart by legal proceedings and media attention. The children, who had known stability and unity, were suddenly faced with divided loyalties, separate homes, and the constant presence of paparazzi documenting their family struggles. Beyond her immediate family, Angelina has also experienced profound losses through her humanitarian work. Her extensive travel to conflict zones and refugee camps has exposed her to countless stories of human suffering and loss. She has witnessed the aftermath of genocide, natural disasters, and war crimes, experiences that have left lasting emotional scars. The death of people she had worked with and befriended during her humanitarian missions has been a recurring source of grief. One particularly impactful loss was the death of Ahmad, a young Afghan refugee she had met and followed over several years. His story, which she had hoped would have a positive outcome, ended in tragedy, serving as a stark reminder of the harsh realities faced by the world's most vulnerable populations. These professional losses, while different from personal family tragedies, have contributed to her understanding of suffering and her commitment to advocacy work. The cumulative effect of these losses has been both devastating and transformative. Angelina has spoken about how grief has taught her to appreciate the present moment and to prioritize what truly matters. The pain of losing her mother made her more determined to be present for her own children. The betrayal by her father reinforced her commitment to being trustworthy and supportive to her own family. The dissolution of her marriage taught her about resilience and the importance of protecting her children's emotional well-being above all else. These experiences of loss have also deepened her empathy and understanding of human suffering, making her more effective in her role as a humanitarian advocate. Having experienced profound grief herself, she brings authentic compassion to her work with refugees and victims of violence worldwide. Her personal losses have become a source of strength that she draws upon when working with others who have experienced trauma and displacement. As Angelina Jolie navigates her 6th decade of life, she has emerged from her most challenging personal period with a renewed sense of purpose and a clearer understanding of her priorities. The woman who once captivated audiences as Lara Croft and won an Academy Award for her raw portrayal in Girl Interrupted has evolved into a multifaceted individual whose influence extends far beyond the entertainment industry, encompassing diplomacy, directing, writing, and most importantly, dedicated motherhood. Today, Angelina's primary focus remains her 6 children, Maddox, Pax, Sahara, Shiloh, and twins, Knox and Vivian. Following her divorce from Brad Pitt, she has worked tirelessly to create stability and normalcy for her family while navigating the complexities of co-parenting in the public eye. Her approach to motherhood has become even more intentional and protective, drawing from her own experiences of childhood abandonment to ensure her children feel secure and supported. The custody arrangements and ongoing legal proceedings with Brad Pitt have been a significant part of her recent years. Though she has consistently tried to keep these matters as private as possible for the sake of their children, despite the challenges, she has maintained that her children's well-being remains her absolute priority, and she has made decisions about her career and living situation based primarily on what would be best for their emotional and psychological development. Professionally, Angelina has increasingly focused on directing and producing rather than acting, a transition that allows her greater creative control and more flexibility in her schedule to be present for her children. Her directorial works, including Unbroken, 2014, By the Sea, 2015, First They Killed My Father, 2017, and Those Who Wish Me Dead, 2021, demonstrate her commitment to telling meaningful stories that often address themes of survival, resilience, and human rights. Her 2017 film, First They Killed My Father, which she directed and co-wrote, was particularly significant as it dealt with the Cambodian genocide under the Khmer Rouge. The project was deeply personal, as Cambodia holds special meaning for her family through the adoption of her eldest son, Maddox. The film required extensive research and collaboration with Cambodian communities, reflecting her commitment to authentic storytelling and cultural sensitivity. In recent years, Angelina has also ventured into writing, contributing op-eds and articles to major publications on topics ranging from refugee rights to women's health. Her writing has appeared in the New York Times, The Guardian, Time magazine, and other influential platforms, where she uses her voice to advocate for policy changes and increased humanitarian aid. Her articles demonstrate a sophisticated understanding of international relations and human rights law, reflecting years of field experience and academic study. Her role as a special envoy for the UN Refugee Agency continues to be a central part of her identity and daily life. Even as her children have grown older, she has maintained her commitment to visiting refugee camps, meeting with world leaders, and advocating for displaced populations. Her recent missions have included visits to Jordan, Bangladesh, and various locations in Africa, where she has documented the ongoing refugee crisis and pushed for increased international support. The COVID-19 pandemic significantly impacted Angelina's work and personal life as it did for people worldwide. During lockdowns, she focused on homeschooling her children and used the time for reflection and planning future projects. She also became involved in pandemic relief efforts, working with various organizations to provide aid to vulnerable populations who were disproportionately affected by the health crisis. Currently, Angelina resides primarily in Los Angeles, though she maintains the flexibility to travel for work and humanitarian missions. Her living situation has been carefully designed to provide her children with stability while also accommodating the unique challenges of their high-profile family circumstances. She has spoken about the importance of creating a home environment where her children can explore their individual interests and cultural backgrounds. As her children have entered their teenage years and early adulthood, Angelina has had to adapt her parenting style to meet their changing needs. Maddox, her eldest, has begun his university studies while the other children are navigating their own developmental milestones. She has been open about the challenges and rewards of raising children from different cultural backgrounds, emphasizing the importance of helping them maintain connections to their birth countries and cultures. Recent interviews and public appearances show an Angelina who appears more settled and content than she has in years. While she maintains her characteristic intensity and passion for her causes, there's a sense of peace and acceptance that wasn't always present during her earlier, more tumultuous years. She has spoken about finding joy in simple family moments and taking pleasure in watching her children develop their own personalities and interests. Looking toward the future, Angelina has several projects in development, including both directing and producing ventures, She continues to be selective about acting roles, preferring projects that align with her values and allow her to maintain her primary focus on family and humanitarian work. Her production company, Jolie Paw Productions, is developing several films that deal with social justice themes and stories from underrepresented communities. Her influence in Hollywood has evolved from that of a leading actress to a respected filmmaker and advocate who uses her platform to amplify important social issues. Industry colleagues describe her as someone who has found her authentic voice and is no longer interested in fame for its own sake, but rather in using her visibility and resources to create meaningful change. Today's Angelina Jolie represents the culmination of decades of personal growth, professional evolution, and hard-won wisdom. She has transformed from the rebellious young actress who once captured headlines for her unconventional behavior into a dignified advocate, devoted mother, and accomplished filmmaker. While she continues to face challenges, particularly in balancing her public responsibilities with her private life, she appears to have found a sustainable path forward that honors both her personal values and her commitment to making a positive impact on the world. Her legacy is still being written, but it's clear that her influence extends far beyond her filmography. Through her humanitarian work, her advocacy for women's health, her efforts to bring attention to global conflicts and refugee crisis, and her dedication to raising her children with awareness and compassion, Angelina Jolie has established herself as a figure whose impact will be felt long after her entertainment career concludes. She represents a model of how celebrity status can be leveraged for meaningful social change, demonstrating that personal struggles and public success can coexist with authentic service to others.